What's up everybody, Neil here with Gadget Hacks. Today we're going on an application that allows you to pin recent tasks or apps to your device's display so you can later access them quickly on the fly. To do this, we'll be using an application called Pin Tasking. It's currently not available on the Play Store, so check out this guide over at gadgethacks.com until it is. Upon opening up the application, there are extensive options, so let's go over step by step. If you are running Android 5.0 or above, unfortunately this application will require root. So when you open the application, go to Root Helper Installer, and you'll need to verify root and just give it super user access. It'll then reboot and it'll start working properly on your Lollipop device. To begin the setup, let's go to Swipe Pad. Now Swipe Pad is that highlighted activation area that allows you to swipe and enable the pin action. Now you'll want to toggle on in use, that'll get it started. Then there's auto start if you want it to start when you boot up your device. And then there's action. Now you can pin, but you can also switch to recent tasks. This will take you to the last task you were performing or the last application that you were in. I'll suggest doing pin current task, and I'll show you why later, but that's where you get most use out of this application. Then you can just positioning always centered the animation so you can make that pin show up on the left, right, or the middle. And then there's custom action on the home screen, which is the next option that you can also do from right here, assist actions. This allows you to set an action to the pin for your home screen. Since you can't necessarily pin your home screen, you can choose to enable a Google Now function. So you can enable Google search, or I have screen off, so I can do one of those two things. Next, under look and behavior, it's pretty extensive, so I'll briefly be going over this. You can adjust the haptic feedback, the pin size, you can make it large, very large. You might have to restart for that one. Switch to recent task upon pinning. This one is actually pretty useful. I suggest not enabling it. So essentially what it does is when you were to pin something, it would bring you back, it will leave the current screen you're on and take you to the recent task. That's kind of annoying, so I don't enable that. And then there's also some options for the animations. Ignore pin tasks as a previous one, so this won't consider the pin task. Let's say I do that, it won't consider this a recent task or app, so it won't bring me back to that one under one of the other options. Then there's browser extension. This is useful as well. It allows you to select HTTP links and pin them for later. So let's say you're in Twitter and you select a link. It'll pop up right here, and then you can just say pin and continue browsing and doing whatever you're doing as this loads. And then I can access it later and go through it. If you're using the Google Now launcher, you can also repurpose this action, as I just did right now, to do one of two things. You can allow it to pin this current task, but I already have that to pin task, so I'm gonna allow it to take me to the recent task. So I'm gonna select always, and also bring me back to a recent task that I was using. So it took me back to Twitter. It's pretty useful, and that way I have recents down here and I have pinning up there. If you ever want to remove one of these chat bubble Facebook looking things, you can just select it, move it around. You can open the pin tasking options or settings, and you can also trash it and take it off your home screen. The reason I like pin tasking is that using the recent view or task switcher sometimes gets pretty dense with all these tasks you're performing, and let's say Twitter's the one I want to get back to. I might have to scroll through endlessly just to find Twitter. I mean, I can open the application, but this just makes it easy. I can just go like that, then start doing whatever I want. Do this, open this link, then eventually go back to Twitter, just like that. So it's really easy. I definitely suggest trying it out. Although the settings and options are extensive, it's fairly simple. So definitely check out the full guide over at gadgethacks.com, especially right now since this is available for free and all of the premium features are unlocked for free until April 14th. So definitely try that out. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for some more awesome and very useful gadget hack videos. Thanks guys.